My name is Steve with Pacific Lawn Sprinklers, and I wanted to make this video for you guys to take you through our Pacific franchise website. We've been getting so many calls and emails in asking us questions about how the system works, how it can help an irrigation tech grow from zero all the way up to a full-blown business. So I want to explain that to you guys and kind of break down all the different benefits that we provide. So right on the front page of our website, you'll see it says, start your own business or grow your existing business. So we've taken guys who literally have no business knowledge but no irrigation, and we've taken them, we've developed their businesses for them, got them set up from literally getting the actual business name set, ABC Lawn Sprinklers or whatever it is. Whatever you want your own business name to be, we'll help you get that set up, and then you can operate under Pacific Lawn Sprinklers. So you don't need to have a ton of knowledge in business to get started in this. We literally have a templated system to make it as easy as possible for you. If you want to grow your existing business, so say you have already a small business, you have your own truck, you have tools, maybe you even have an employee or 2 trucks or a machine or a compressor or something, we can take you and we can take the customers that you have and we can roll it all into our system. What that'll do for you is it'll eliminate all the stress of having to call all your customers, stay in touch with them, collect payments, and go through all of that stuff. So we're going to help you out with all that. We've done it for a lot of guys. Actually, we just did a guy last year. He's been doing irrigation for probably 15 years. He had his own company, his own truck, tools, everything. He just couldn't handle the phone calls anymore. He had his son working with him. He wanted to kind of, expand the business and build a future for himself, and he just couldn't grow because he was bogged down by all the paperwork and all that nonsense. So we took all that, we built it into our system. Now the guy just focuses on field work and building a good business for himself, his family, and his future. So we've done everything from multiple trucks a guy had, converting it over to Pacific, literally doesn't matter. So basically, wherever you're at in terms of business, skill level, knowledge, we can roll you into the franchise system. So we make it real easy. So if you come to the top of our website here, you'll kind of see the Pacific system. Let's click on that and go through, okay? And basically, this kind of just overviews it. We have what's called a service franchise and a combo franchise and a conversion franchise. The most popular franchise that most guys are going to take would be the service franchise. That's basically just doing basic maintenance and repair work, like changing heads, valves, doing smaller repairs, not doing like huge installations. Once you get into installations, that would go to a combo franchise. That means you're doing a combination of installations and service, okay? The main difference here would be in the advertising, okay? So we're going to advertise differently, obviously, if you're just going to replace broken sprinkler heads opposed to going to do installations. So with the advertising comes in a lot more estimates and different things. So the combo franchise requires a lot more work, so it's a little bit of a different structure than the service franchise. Like I said, most guys start out as service and then eventually they'll build on, they'll add another truck, they'll start doing installations in their area. It really depends on your skill level and depends, where you're at with that. Conversion franchises, we don't really run into too many of those. It's kind of like if you're adding on to an existing business in a related field, but it's there. So really, you're going to start as service and slowly move to combo is really what you need to understand by that. All right? So if you come through, the first tab on here is training. Now, you might be thinking that you already know irrigation, you don't need any more training, you're not sitting through another boring class, or you're not wasting your time with that. And I completely agree with you because that was the same exact way I felt when I used to run a franchise, and that's the same way I felt. But we actually don't do any of that boring stuff. We focus on all the stuff that's going to help make you money and help you grow your business. So we're not sitting there going over pump charts or nozzle charts or something that is really great information to know, but you're never really going to apply out in the field. Just let's face it, some of that stuff is so deep, and most of the time you're not getting into it. While we do cover it, we're going more into business basics 101, so how to actually run a profitable business. We kind of give you the guidelines that we've discovered through the years to help you do that. We do a lot of sales role play, okay? So it might sound kind of funny and kind of stupid, and you're like, nah, I'm not doing that. There's no way I'd ever go in front of the class and talk about this. It's irrigation. Yeah, we get it, but we've trained so many guys and we've built so many successful franchises, and we've studied all the things that are going to make you grow, and role play is probably one of the biggest because what it does is it gives you an edge when you're going to talk to customers. You already know what they're going to say. So we'll do scenarios like if a customer says that's too much money, what do you say? If they say that the rotary head is too much money, what do you say? If they say they're not interested, What do you say? If you give a price for $3,500 and they say they got another price for $3,000, what do you say? We give you all these different tactics to help you use the specific name, use the brand behind you, all to your advantage to help you eventually just close the sale and make more money. That's the whole point of all this stuff. We do classroom and field training. So as the picture you see here, we have like a classroom setting where you're sitting down, listening. Then we'll do like field training. You'll do troubleshooting. You'll do soldering, plumbing. We don't really make you do any particular thing, but it's really whatever you feel you need help on. If you need soldering for 3 days straight, we'll do that for you. If you need plumbing or wiring, we'll do that for you. We're here to help you. Anything that you can improve to make you more money, that's exactly the point of the system. 300 hours plus, it's probably way more than that, of video content. So we've crafted all different videos related to irrigation sales, estimating, repairs. Again, all with the focus of you making money, providing the right job for the customer, but not in a boring way, in a way that you're actually going to see and utilize when you're in the field, all right? And all this stuff took a long time behind the scenes to build it. We built it from experience. It's not built from a white-collar guy or something. It's built literally from me and the other guys who have been in the field doing it. Webinars and related material, reading materials. So you got more information on the computer than you can possibly even think of. But again, it's all built segments on everything. So we have segments. We teach you about the software that we use. We teach you about estimating. We teach you about profit margins. We teach you about labor and how to kind of organize your men and kind of stuff like that. So we go through all that stuff with you. Residential and commercial design and estimating. So we'll just give you a couple tactics that we have to help you design systems better. And we do it in a certain way that's going to help you get the job. So we have a couple different tactics that a lot of companies for some reason aren't using in a way that you're going to estimate to help you get the job. And that's why we've grown to such levels, because we have this kind of like the science behind this stuff. Tablet software training. So I'll go through in a later part of this video, but basically your whole business is run on this small Android tablet. You can do anything that you can imagine through there. You don't need a complicated office or anyone else really working for you. You just need that tablet. You need to know how to work it. But if you could work your cell phone, you could work the tablet. It's going to take a little bit of practice, and don't be intimidated if you're not like a computer whiz or anything like that. But we're going to train you on that. Really go through it. Troubleshooting, again, tracing wires, stuff like that, we can go through with you. Diagnostic training, same thing. Customer service. So even if you've never really been the guy to present prices to customers or to provide estimates, we noticed that a lot of techs, for some reason, it's like their boss or their supervisor or someone was the one going out and giving all the prices, and they weren't really talking to the customer that much. So that's fine, because we deal with that all the time. We're going to teach you the things to say, teach you how to use the tactics of Pacific to help you, build your own business. So that's just like the initial training. It's about a week long that we do this training. It's in New York. We have a full facility. We have like 2 floors of stuff going on. There's usually about 40 people there, so 20 to 40 people, just depends. Support. All right, so you're going to get your initial training, and then you're also going to get ongoing support. So we have guys that have been doing this for 40 years, in the field running and there to help you if you need it. Again, we're not breathing down your neck, wondering about why'd you put a side strip instead of an end strip or whatever you want to, say. We're not interested in any of that. We want to make sure you're doing the right job, but we're here to help you if you have any problems and to help you grow and make as much money as you can. So if we see something that you're doing in the field that isn't making you money, we're going to point it out. Now, whether you choose to do it or not is completely up to you, but, we're going to help you. We're just here to help. A lot of guys look at this training and support and think it's like one of these supplier or manufacturers training where it's just some like canned stuff that's like boring and not going to help you. Like, focus is on money, all right, and growing your business. Support, dedicated departments for customer service, sales, bookkeeping. So yeah, in our office, which is behind this actual banner that you're looking at here, there's a full-blown office of about 45 people who are there just to help you in any way they can. So whether it's your bookkeeping, keeping track of your finances, or customer service, scheduling appointments, or advertising, we're going to do all that stuff behind the scenes, all right? 24/7 support. So you have a dedicated franchise line. So say you have an issue that you don't know what job you have tomorrow or something, your truck broke down, call that line at any time, any hour. It links up to like 7 or 8 different people. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas Eve, 12 o'clock, that comes in, it's getting shot to a full team. Like, we're always behind the scenes working for you. Annual franchise meetings. We do usually annually a big meeting. It's like everyone from Pacific. It's like 200 something people. They come in. We go over all different sales tactics, new products for the next year, pricing discounts, anything like packages we've developed to help you grow your business, different things with marketing, different things for customers. Again, when you have a team of like 50 people working behind the scenes for you, we have a lot of ideas, and we take those ideas and we make them into real life, which translates into you making money. So basically, we take all that stuff and we review it with you, and we get your feedback as well. Annual sales seminars. So what we like to do, really, it's every day. You'll get updates to your phone, your email, and everything of your sales. Are you hitting your targets? What was your target? What's your budget for the year? We make it so easy. It's called a KPI. It's like a key performance indicator. I don't want to get deep in it, but it's basically you get a score at the end of the day, and whether you hit that score or not is going to help you determine what you need to do differently to run your business. So you're not just shooting in the dark. A lot of guys who come into our system, and actually we just had a guy just recently, he just took a franchise. He came in and his boss that he was working for didn't give him any sales targets for the day. Didn't even let him really know the prices of the material and the stuff that he was selling. It makes no sense. So we basically take you, even if that was you, and we'll transform you and help you, make sure you're hitting the goals that you need to run a business. There's a lot. So it's important that you have a team doing it. Intranet, quarterly newsletters, online certifications. Again, it's just more information we provide through email and through the internet to help you stay connected with Pacific and basically get it to the point that you know everything about Pacific and you can use the tools to your advantage. All right, so that is really training. I did it quick, but there's a lot that goes on there. Call center. Okay, this is really like call it the bread and butter of Pacific. This is the stuff that's really running to help schedule and just talk to all the customers throughout the day. So you're pretty much never going to have to take phone calls from customers, okay? There'll be the occasional guy who calls your cell phone or whatever, but we try and push everything through the office, everything through the call center. Everything is organized. There's 45 people sitting behind computers, taking in customer phone calls, scheduling them, rescheduling them, moving them around, whatever needs to be done. It's 24/7 that we have this coming in. We also have local phone numbers, so it doesn't matter whether you're in Boston, Bethesda, Maryland, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Fort Myers, wherever your franchise is, doesn't matter. We have local phone numbers for that area. This way, if a customer comes to the website, they don't get our franchise in Boston confused with the franchise in Texas. So we have everything really organized. So all that's built behind the scenes. So when they call, they're getting that local feel. It's really important. It takes a lot of work, believe it or not, to set that up in the back end. Pre-scheduling annual maintenance. So it blows my mind how some irrigation guys aren't doing this. For maintenance programs, you're pre-scheduling them in the back end. So on our computer system, say you're in Fort Lauderdale and the customer wants a bi-monthly maintenance checks for, wet checks for every year to come. We sign them up through an easy-to-use computer program that they select what they want. It takes like a minute. They select what they want. Once they hit that button, automatically it gets them on the schedule for every bi-monthly, whatever, every 2 months, every month, every other month, bang, 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 on the schedule. Now, you do that with 500 customers or 1,000 customers, it starts to build the schedule for you in the back end easily. So the point of that is that we try and make it that you're never really without work. Once a customer comes into our system, we harness them, meaning we schedule them for their next services. So say you're in Connecticut or you're in Boston and you're doing winterizations and spring startups. We'll schedule it so that the customer, when you look at your schedule, say for April 1st when the spring starts, whatever, you'll see a list of just customers booked up on there already. They're already scheduled, confirmed, and they know you're coming. So it just makes things efficient that you're not sitting around, waiting where the work's going to come from. So it's I kind of hit pretty deep on that, but it's actually a huge part of our system that took us years to figure that out. Manage customer relations. So if a customer calls in and they're a little annoyed, we know how to talk them off the edge and get everything kind of ironed out. GPS truck routing, optimal GPS truck routing. It doesn't mean that we're tracking your truck. What that means is your calls are all organized in a sense that you'll be driving least amount as possible. So everything is done efficiently. So you're not driving from one county all the way to the next, to the back, No, we don't do that here. Everything is like literally in the back. We handcraft it. We sit in front of a huge computerized map, and we can carve out exactly where you're basically going to go during the day. So it's all done on the back end. You never need to think about that. Zone management, it's kind of the same thing. If we see that, say, one city in the area that you're servicing doesn't really have a lot of service requests and it's kind of a dead area, we'll take that out of the map. This way we're not wasting time for you driving through there. So sometimes there'll be like a weird, that weird zip code that just there's nothing going on with lawn sprinklers there, but it's kind of in the middle of the rest of the good zip codes. We won't, service there, or we'll stay away from that area. So it's just part of zone management. We're constantly monitoring to make sure you're not wasting your time driving around. Text and email appointment confirmations. So we try and make it that you're not going to a house and wasting your time. So we alert the customer through text and email that they have the appointment, you're on the way, stuff like that. So it's a sophisticated system. You just click a button. That's all you really need to know. And all this computer stuff is processing in the back end, making that happen. Live chat system. So we see so many irrigation companies, probably 98% of them, they don't have live chat. We love that because what that does is it brings more customers to us. As soon as you come to our website, they can talk with a live person right through the online portal right there. So again, it just helps tie in the customers to us. There's people literally sitting behind computers waiting for a customer to put in a request. They're going all day long on the keyboard. For you to go out and try and develop that on your own is going to take you years if you even get to the point of being able to develop that. We train the people on the computers and on the phones. We hire them. We fire them when necessary. We do more training. We worry about all their payroll, all their Christmas bonuses, all the stuff like that. We do all that on the other end. You don't need to worry about anything revolving around hiring an office staff. So that's the main point of all this. You don't have to hire an office staff. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You just have to look at your tablet and go about your day and do the field work. We do online scheduling, proprietary scheduling. So all of this system is all custom built specifically for Pacific Lawn Sprinklers. It's not like we just downloaded a software off the internet and made it work. Like, this stuff has been being handcrafted by our team for 40 plus years. So customers can pay online, schedule online. Really important. Again, just once that customer comes to our website, like, we got them, like, not in a bad way, but we just have the right system built to make the customer, give them what they want. Bookkeeping, we always say, is optional. So what that basically is it's keeping track of your finances, paying your bills, collecting your money from any outstanding balances, like paying things like Site One or your cell phone bill for the business or your business insurance. We basically pay those bills, and at the same time, we track all the customer payments coming in to basically keep your books organized and balanced, okay? So when you go to an accountant or something, it's kind of like we do all the accounting on the back end for you. That's basically what it is. So you don't need to stay up at all hours of the night trying to do the math and figure out where you're at. Can you afford the bill? Can you do this? Like, we do that on the back end for you. So we say it's optional because it is optional. You don't have to take the service from us. I recommend it just because we have a full team here, like, doing it for 50 other franchises. So we just have a system that we know exactly what to look for, exactly how to, kind of stretch your money to make it work. It's a seasonal business, so it kind of takes a bit of skill. We have an independent sales department. So we have people just answering the regular phones, regular, service requests. We have the department that handles like complaints. And then we have like a separate sales department. This department is really going to be more like, say you sell a renovation when you're adding 6 zones and 30 heads or something, and the customer, is giving a hard time about the price. They want $3,000 instead of $3,500. Our kind of sales department will kind of work with that customer, find out what their pain points are, and kind of try and, basically sell the job for you and make things easy for you to put you back in touch with that customer so you can kind of just like, they tee you up to sell the job in layman's terms. We track closing rates. So if you're not selling jobs, we're like, why is this guy going on 100 estimates but he only sold 10 of them? Like, we don't let it get to that point. Like, we'll track this stuff in the back end. This way we can help you improve. Again, we're not breathing down your neck. We want to see you succeed. All right? So we have all that stuff because I bet you whatever you're doing now, you probably don't even know what your closing rate is. How many jobs did you close? You went to 10. How many did you get? What was it worth it? What did you do wrong? We have like a whole system built for that. Automated sales follow-up calls. So if you go on an estimate, say the customer's not home, or that they say they want to think about it or something, and you couldn't close the deal, we'll automatically follow up with them through our back-end computer system. It'll send out an automatic phone call to them. It says something like, hey, like we were out for the estimate on Tuesday. If you're still interested in this estimate and moving forward, press 1 or something like that. Do you know how many customers we get to press 1? Okay, where in your old business, or if you were doing this business on your own, you would probably A, never call that customer again, or B, you would follow up and keep getting the runaround and waste your time that you can't be out working in the field. So we do all that stuff on the back end for you, so it saves you time and makes you money, basically. On-site emailing of estimates, so everything's computerized. You can interact with the customers in a split second. Ongoing sales support and training, so again, every so often we'll review with you where you're doing, where you're at, where are you going. Custom-built estimating software, so any item you could think of in relation to irrigation, landscape lighting, drainage, or holiday lighting, like we have it all built into our software system in an easy way. So if you want to change 6 rotaries, 2 nozzles, replace a wire, run 1810 wire, 3 wire, replace an indexing valve, replace the lake screen, double check valve, it's in a pit, it's not in a pit, it's exposed, the wire is exposed, you're tracing wire, you have to dig through rocks, roots, you need a machine, you have to go uphill, you have to go downhill. Whatever you can imagine for irrigation, we have it built into an easy thing. I spit off a lot of things, but basically you click a few buttons, it spits you out your price. All right, and that price on the back end, we're always looking at and saying, all right, Hunter raised their prices 10% this year, we have to raise our prices. Rainbird raised their price 2%, we need to raise our price on that. All right, labor went up, your insurance for your business, we see your insurance, so that went up, so we need to raise the price. Or hey, we got a great discount on Hunter valves, lower the price here. We're always monitoring that stuff for you. Say your area, like for example, we had an area in New Jersey that the area is just like so many rocks, so many roots in this one particular area that we basically customized a system that said, hey, whenever you're in X area, you have to charge a little more because the ground is really a pain to dig through. So we can tweak anything you can imagine as far as pricing to make sure you're getting the right amount of money for the job. And you know, it's also competitive. So since we have like 100 techs out there, we're always constantly getting other companies' prices. Like you'd be surprised how many estimates we have from all these other companies. It's crazy how many estimates our guys, you know, customers give to our guys because they're just like, here, I want to work with you. Here's the other guy's estimate. So that being said, we can stay competitive. We see where our competition's at with pricing. We see what they're doing. We see, are they building in a Wi-Fi timer into their price? Are they putting the you know, conversions to valves instead of indexing valves as an upgrade option or something like that. You know, stuff like that. So that's easy to sell. Upgrade packages, estimating templates, pricing guides for over 10,000 service items. So again, it doesn't matter if you are changing like a brass nozzle or a Hunter I-40 head or something. We have it. Permit filing guidance. If you have to file permits in your area to do installations, some areas require it, some areas don't. But if they do, excuse me, they'll we'll file the permit for you. We'll send it in. We'll track it. We'll stay in touch with the building department or whatever department it is. Branded sales brochures. So we give you like full marketing material so that you can go out and be professional. So you got your professional uniforms. You got your professional truck. You hand the customer professional brochure with all our information on it, 40 years of knowledge, all the information about the irrigation system. You're emailing the customer. You're pulling up. You're being professional. Everyone in the office is trained and professional. The summary of all that information I just spit off is this is going to help you make money faster than you can on your own. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money and energy. So we do so much, and yeah, it's almost like it almost seems fake how much we do. That's how much it really is, but it's real. So okay, advertising and marketing. So I probably should have went over this before I went over the customers, because first you need to advertise in order to get customers. But we basically have a full team that, for lack of better words, just sits there all day and focuses on Google, Yahoo, Home Advisor, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Nextdoor, and we're constantly tweaking and adjusting the system based on demand. So if you're really busy and you're booked out for 2 weeks and say, you know, you can't take on any more work, we'll pull back the advertising on your area, we'll save it, we'll move it over to when it's slower, you know, stuff like that. So we used to have a company doing Google for us, but we basically fired them because what we've realized about a lot of marketing companies is they don't really understand the irrigation business, and you need to kind of be in it to know whether your crews are backed up, whether you're backed up, whether your truck's down, whether, you know, whatever, you're waiting on material, stuff like that. we need to be able to kind of always play with the system and make it work for your individual franchise. So that's what we do on the back end. So we literally have probably hundreds of thousands of words on Google that we use to help you grow as fast as possible. So every area is different. So say in Florida, you're doing, I keep saying indexing valves or pumps or something, but in Boston, you never even heard of an indexing valve. You know, we have different campaigns for every area. So, you know, depending on what you need, say backflow tests are required in Charlotte, North Carolina, but they're not required in, you know, Freehold, New Jersey. Then we have different campaigns, different everything, words set up for each specific area, down to like literally like the smallest city you can imagine. We have things set up for, and our team does that in-house. So the team knows irrigation and they know Google at the same time, so we can play with it and manipulate it to work really to your advantage. So just coming down, basically, that's how we got 40,000 customers and 40,000 names in our system. And if you're trying to start your business on your own and you have 0 names on your list, it's going to be very hard to kind of amplify and exponentially grow as fast as you can. This list of 40,000 or 50, probably more, like 100,000 by the time you add up all the other information that we got. We send like email blasts, phone calls, text out, but it's like customer in New York might know a customer in Jersey who knows someone in Chicago who knows someone in Boston, and they've used us. You know, it's that kind of system that kind of bangs out like that. And we have a whole list to promote to. So if you're trying to start and you don't have anyone, maybe you just have 5 or 10 or even 100 people. I mean, it's better than 0, but we have, you know, thousands that we can promote to and help you get running as fast as possible. So people are always asking me, like, why would I pay your franchise system? Why would I do a franchise? I can do it on my own. You can. You can do it on your own. It's just going to take you longer, and you're going to have to put in a lot of energy that, like, we already did. So that's the whole point. Promotional ad creation, so we can create ads at all different times of the year. Customer loyalty programs, so we always keep the customers happy. If you check out any of our reviews online, which is like the next item here, online reviews, you see that we have hundreds or thousands of reviews, like 5-star or 4.9-star, whatever reviews. When you become a part of Pacific, you can basically utilize those reviews to your advantage. So when you just started as John's Lawn Sprinklers, you have 2 reviews on Google that was like your mom and your sister. Or you come in and Pacific's there and you have thousands of reviews for all over the country. It gives you a little more kind of like recognition with the customer, and the customer trusts you a little more. So in turn, that helps you sell more and, you know, really get your point across, and they trust you more when it comes down to upgrades, moving stuff around, doing stuff. You're just a more professional looking business. So you're going to tap into all that. So we took 40 years of kind of like our good reviews, and we basically handed it to you. So go ahead, use it to your advantage. All right. We maintain the corporate website, which is a huge undertaking. It sounds like nothing because it's just listed here as a word, but there's literally a team that all day long has to keep playing with our website, make it function properly, make it work. If you're doing this on your own, you're going to need to figure out how to, you know, get a web designer, do a website, keep it updated, do live chat, do different zip codes, have things, promotions turn on and off, and work from Google and funnels and all that. We have a whole team just kind of working this stuff all around all day long, so you never have to think about it. You just go and you work in the field, all right? Branded materials such as logo trucks. Yeah, so everything we do is branded. So you got uniforms, you got the truck, you got brochures, you got shut-off tags, you got clock stickers. All that stuff is part of the system, so you don't need to worry about trying to find a guy to print you 500 clock stickers. We have thousands of them sitting in the room right here. So, all right, so that was advertising. Basically, we get you a lot of customers as fast as possible. That's basically. So field support. So again, we're not trying to give you a hard time or breathe down your neck. Everyone seems to think that, but like, you run your own business. If you decide you want to use I-20s or you want to use Rainbird heads, like, go for it. Doesn't matter to us, all right? Treat the customer right, do the right job. That's what matters, okay? But we can ride along with you for continued training. So some guys that come into the system, they've been doing irrigation for 15, 20 years. They're like, nah, I don't need anyone to ride along with me. I'm good by myself. I know what I'm doing. Great. So we don't need to ride along with you. But if we feel that you need it or you want it, we'll literally take some of our guys, we'll put them up in a hotel for a week, 2. We've even had guys in hotels for 2 months in your area just helping you train and get going. So it varies per area, per guy, whatever, but we'll stay by you. We'll train you to make sure you're growing as much as possible. The point is to give you sales tips, all right? Make money, treat the customer right. A lot of guys are just going out there and they're treating the customer right, giving great service, but they're not really making money. You need to do both, all right? So it's important to have that down to a science to be able to do both of those things at once, all right? All right, recurring revenue, all right? So everything I just described with the pre-scheduling and the zones and the customers and the emails and the text, once a customer comes into our system, we kind of lock them in. We try and lock them in for life. We have a very high retention rate, meaning once they're into our system, it's very rare that they'll leave and go with another company because the service we provide, the interactions that they have with the office, the emails and everything, it's just so convenient for them. We make it so convenient and we make it hard for them to leave. So that's the whole point of recurring revenues. We try to continually keep those customers happy to generate money for you every month, year, whatever it is, all right? So let's talk numbers. So revenue. All right, a lot of guys, probably the biggest question that we get is how much money am I going to make? All right, obviously we can't give you an exact answer because it depends whether you are a hard worker or not, basically. If you're willing to put some time in the beginning in and, you know, kind of work hard, or you're just willing to look to just work 2 days a week and not make any money. We can't give you an exact number of what you're going to make, but here's some averages of what guys did in 2018. All right, so the average combo franchise in gross sales did around 682 grand. Now with that, we've had a couple guys who did over $1 million, over $1 million, 1.1 million. You know, it kind of ranges. All right, but you know, it's just an idea. 682. All right, 340 grand is basically the average 2018 gross sales of a service franchise. So that could be one guy in a truck or two guys in a truck. That's kind of what that means. Just doing basic repairs. So doing spring turn-ons, winterizations, repairs. Or if you're in like a warmer state that they don't have that you know, biannual service, this is just like maintenance, like wet checks and everything, and repairs. So that's really what that is. So it really just depends what level you're on. A lot of guys will start down at this service level, 340, and then they'll pop up, and then they'll be up here, and then they'll keep going. It just depends, you know, really how hard you want to push. All right, additional operating numbers. So I don't want to get too deep into this, but basically, you know, a combo franchise, you have a higher cost of goods sold, meaning basically you spend more on material because you're using a lot more material, installations, all right? Your labor costs are higher because you have employees and stuff. Your profit margin is a little less than, say, service. Everyone knows that on service, your profit margin is a little higher. There's not as much overhead. Your cost of goods sold is a little less. Your labor is less. So those are just like some quick statistics here, but really what you need to know is that we can't guarantee you're going to make a certain amount of money. But we can certainly review with you the money that you're making now, and we can give you kind of budgeting projections of where other guys have kind of been who've been in your shoes. So we'll go over all that with you. You can come into our headquarters, we could talk on the phone, or we can, anything to kind of go over that with you. But this is just the basic stuff on the website, all right? Financing options, okay? So, all right, this is like the biggest complaint we get, and I understand it. Like, you look at this money right here, $7,500 to $35,000. You're like, you guys are freaking crazy. I'm gonna pay that for a franchise? I could do my own business. I get that comment all the time. I understand where you're coming from, but the complaint or the objection really makes no sense, because we've had like 50 franchises pay this money already to us as their franchise fee. But basically, you get everything we just talked about. It's a turnkey system. It's 45 years of 40 people working to build all this stuff for you. This $7,500 to $35,000 is literally not even enough to cover all the work that we've put in to develop this system. So it would take you like 30 years and a lot of people and probably like giving up a lot of your free time to develop anything that we have. So would you pay this amount of money to save yourself like 40 years? The cool thing about it is with financing is that we basically spread the payments out over 5 years. So I should explain the variation. So there's $7,500 is sometimes we'll run a promotional program. Say you're starting a new franchise, say in like a new area that we haven't been into yet. Sometimes we'll run promotions where we'll give you your franchise for $7,500 bucks. All right. Other times, like if you're in an established area, meaning we already have customers in that area, it's already what we feel established. It'll be 35,000. So for example, a guy just took a franchise in New York where we had probably like 800 customers already. They're already primed up, ready to go. He's got a full-blown turnkey business that he's walking into money from day one. That franchise fee is going to be higher because we've spent so much time in that area building it up. If you're in an area where we don't have customers, it's going to be lower. That's just how we do it. So we try and spread these payments out over around 5 years usually or so. So we're not trying to handicap you. We're not trying to look for all this money up front. We just take it over time basically to cover our costs. It's just a pass-through fee. We're not making any money off of this. There's a full team that needs to get paid, so we need to get paid. So it's going to pay for all the things that I just discussed, all right? You also have your call center and bookkeeping, which we reviewed. You have your advertising costs. So the call center and the bookkeeping, you know, we have to pay ongoing fees. So we're paying the representatives here to keep working. So they need to get paid every week, every 2 weeks. So in turn, we pass those fees through to you, basically. We're not making any money off of any fees that we charge for the call center or the advertising. It's, like we say, a pass-through fee. So the girls in the office need to get paid. They need to get paid. They need to get paid. So all the franchises kind of pay into that system, but we're the ones here training them, monitoring them, making it grow for you. So it's small fees for these. They're not bad. It's way less. Like you're paying for like 45 people, the price what you would pay for like one person. That's the comparison I always give. Like the cost that you pay per year is about 1 year's salary of an employee, like say someone in your office. You're paying for 45 people working behind the scenes for you. It's like a crazy discount. It probably seems fake. It probably doesn't even seem like it's realistic. It probably seems like I'm lying to you or something like that, but it's real. We have a lot of guys already doing it, so we invite you to come down and you could literally meet the entire team and we can go over all this with you. All right, so, okay. This is my favorite one. We get so many comments on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube videos about this, and the biggest thing people say is like, basically, why the hell would I pay you guys 10% ongoing fees, royalty fees? That's a ripoff. I've heard all sorts of things. I've gotten nasty emails about this. And it's just that if you're mad about this, it just means that you don't understand it. There's millions of franchises, thousands of franchises all over the world, and they all charge a royalty fee. It's a common thing. It's not that Pacific is ripping you off. This is a common thing. This is the only way that us as a franchise makes any money. Remember I said all the other costs above are just pass-through costs, that they're just, you know, overhead? The 10% is the only way we make any money. So the cool thing about that is basically if you don't make any money, we don't make any money. So if your sales suck, then we're not getting paid like a good amount of money. If your sales are really good, then we get paid. So it's in our best interest to make your sales really good so that we get as much money as possible. So the awesome thing about the 10% is you're not just paying it and it's not just going to waste. Like by you paying that to us, it's a sign that like you're doing good, you know, because we want to get that number up as high as possible. So where else are you going to find a team working behind you to try and lift your business up because they're invested in it too? So it's kind of like the legal term is not that you're taking on a partner. Like we kind of like are partners, but not like on paper, but we kind of are. But, you know, it's in everyone's best interest to lift you up. You're the guy. You're the one. So we try and lift you up and get you as many sales as possible, and in turn, that's how we get paid. So I don't know anywhere else where you would possibly find that, but that thing there is a blessing. And I used to run my franchise, and when I, you know, first thought, like coming in, I'm like, a royalty fee. And even like my parents and everyone around me were like, you're going to pay a royalty fee? That's crazy. Like they just didn't understand it. But now that I've been in it for like 10 years now, I understand it. And yeah, it's an awesome thing, and that's why franchises exist. Any franchise that you see, they pay a royalty. That's a common thing, all right? All right, so I'll take you through our franchise team real quick. So these are some of the owners up top. These girls here, they basically are the managing directors, these four here of the office. They kind of foresee everything. This is me on the right here. This is the other guy, Steve D. He runs more of the field stuff. He's really experienced on that stuff. I'll help you guys all on the back end. We have a team here. These are this is John. He's been doing irrigation a long time. Jen, I don't want to go through everyone for you. You guys probably don't care, but basically this is part of the team. There's more than this, but this is just the main kind of people here. Franchise awards. So you're probably wondering, what the heck is that? So this year was awesome. 2019, we had one, two, three. Well, it doesn't really show here, but we had 3 guys hit over $1 million in sales, which is awesome. This guy here got the highest residential awards. So what this is really just showing you guys is at the end of the year, we're happy that you guys kind of, you know, hit these plateaus and benchmarks. So we give you awards. We give you like a check for $1,000 or 500 hours. So we kind of try and make it competitive amongst the guys. It's just something cool. So